The fourth quarter defensively held Indiana to 15 points. Darvin had mentioned that he wanted you in there, just kind of size and strength, and especially with Indy the way they were playing. What were you guys doing that was effective on the defensive end?
I thought our physicality was good. Did a good job of using our size, using our speed, and making them shoot tough shots, especially in the fourth quarter, and rebound the ball, and our pace was pretty good offensively as well, too.
How about just individually? What were the things defensively that you were looking at?
Just trying to keep them from shooting, non-contested threes, making them shoot tough ones, and then when they get in the paint, making sure we contest and rebound and get on the break.
And then just want to ask you about the possession with AD when Halliburton had him ISO'd there. The game has evolved some. There aren't that many bigs that can kind of do that like AD does. What did you see, and how key is that?
Pick and roll, myself, AD, we can always switch. With his size, the ability to better guard guards, and I'm able to guard some bigs as well. And obviously he's one hell of a defensive player, and that was one of the biggest stops of the game.
It was a trap in the corner. I think it was you and Dennis, and Buddy, and Darvin said that was a defensive instinct. It wasn't like he called for a trap. How well did that? How well did you guys execute that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that was me just jumping in. I saw him go to the corner. The one rule in basketball you stay away from is the corners and half court. When I know once in the corner, I just went and trapped. Time is running out. He's forced to take a tough shot.
Was there more urgency, given the close games you've been in, and how this Pacers team beat you guys in November on a buzzer beater? Was there a thought that, we can't let this happen again?
No, I honestly just closing the game the right way. That's big. My emphasis as a player, last 5 minutes of the game, myself, I take it personal, just making sure we get good shots, getting stops. And I think the last 2 games, we've done a good job of, closing the game and executing down the stretch.
And defensively, how does having AD on the court change your guys' confidence, mentality, just in those last minutes?
Well, I mean, it's huge. He's back there to contest. Sometimes he may not block, but just contesting, making him shoot tough shots, and now allows us to get out on the break and run, and it's big for us.
Darvin, you hold Indy to 15 points in that fourth quarter after they had been scoring pretty consistently. What was the biggest change? What was working on that side of the court for you?
Just us being more assertive on the ball, putting pressure on the ball, guys being locked in and engaged off the ball, the communication, the sense of urgency, and to get rebounds. And we shared the ball a lot better, so the offense was a lot better. And, I just think our effort, just guys moving on to the next play. We had some unfortunate turnovers and some missed shots in that second half, but I thought it bled into our defense in the first half. But the second half, we were able to move on from those type of plays and get refocused in a hurry and get a stop.
Halliburton gets AD ISO'd there. Darvin, it's a play you've seen from AD several times over the years, sticking with the guard like that. But can you just kind of take us through that possession?
I mean, that's what makes him so unique. He's one that's not trying to press up on the guard to show that, mano y mano, he's going to force him to go one way and then beat him to the spot. And, his mobility is what I mentioned before the game. His mobility, when he's playing pain-free, he's one of the more elite defenders in our league, top 5 in my opinion. And again, he can move his feet, so he can guard 1 through 5 in situations like that.
Did you see the news about the All-Star reserves having any sort of motivating factor in Anthony's performance tonight?
Man, that's all. If he made it, great. If not, we got bigger business to take care of, in terms of trying to make it to the postseason. It's unfortunate if he didn't make it. I haven't looked at anything, haven't heard anything. Okay, well, good. He gets to get some rest in and get ready for this home push. We have business to take care of. That's a fun weekend. Salute to the league. They do a hell of a job putting on a great weekend of festivities, from the game itself on down. But, it's about Laker business right now. We got to get ourselves back to where we belong, and that's in the postseason. And it starts with performances like we had in New York and the one we had tonight. We just got to continue this trend.
Darvin, on the one hand with Russ, 10 assists tonight, which obviously was helping the offense. On the other hand, 2 for 16 shooting. What did you see from him that made you want to close with him tonight, despite his shooting struggles?
He wasn't getting down. He wasn't getting dejected, and had some unfortunate misses, some unfortunate plays. But he was just locked in on a high level, along with everyone else. Those guys talking to one another in the huddle, talking about matchups, talking about coverages. So, and it's his size, his ability to switch off on a bigger guy. The rebound, great hands, quickness, everything you need to be a great defender, he has. So it was a no-brainer to finish with him.
Darvin. Was that double team at the end? Is that just on-court situational awareness?
That's on-court feel. They did that on their own. It wasn't, our job, our defensive play call, if you will, to them was to switch everything 1 through 5. Any pick and roll, any DHO that made contact, to switch it. But he got caught in the death trap in that low corner. They're out of timeouts. So that was just a feel thing. That was something they just felt, and then AD did a great job once we forced them into that tough shot. AD did a hell of a job cleaning up the glass.
What does it feel like in your stomach when you see that shot go up, knowing that you guys have been in this situation? You were in this situation against the Pacers earlier this year. Like, what's that moment like for someone who has so much skin in it?
I mean, actually, it's just like, you can't, obviously you're disappointed if it goes in, but you can't be discouraged because of the type of effort we gave, and it's particularly in that second half. Excuse me, you can't be down and dejected. You just obviously you like, man, not again, that disappointing feeling, but as far as hanging our heads and feeling bad and upset and discouraged, we don't feel that because, again, we gave ourselves a chance to win, and we were able to pull it out. And I think I mentioned earlier in the year, those types of losses that we've had, a lot of them being self-inflicted, we would learn from. They're painful losses at the time, but we learned from them. And I think the last couple of games we've hell, even the Boston game, it's unfortunate the way it ended, but just the way we've been able to, overcome certain things and come away with the victory, that shows those are signs of growth.
Robert Horry, Mike Bresnahan. The Lakers were minus 30 on threes with Indiana. They missed 8 free throws in the fourth quarter, 8 of 16. But they did go on a 24-8 run during the fourth. They outscored Indiana 28-15 in the fourth. And sometimes, Rob, your stars got to win you the game. And that's what happened tonight with AD and LeBron.
Yes, AD and LeBron came up big. The thing about it is they only gave them 6 free throws. So that sounds like the Lakers played good defense, right? But they was making all these threes, so they didn't have to get to the line. They didn't have to do anything, but you got to be proud of the way AD persevered down there. That shot he hit in the paint, that was one of the toughest fadeaways in the game over one of the best shot blockers in the game. So AD came up big. LeBron with a big 3 down the stretch. He came up big. And Pat Bev with that steal was a big steal that they had to review. So that cost us 2 points there.
Pat Bev also with a huge 3 from the wing late in that game. The Lakers did not take the lead until 108-106 on LeBron's 3. Let's go back to Indiana. Anthony Davis is with Mike Trudell.
All right, Anthony Davis, I know you pride yourself on the defensive side of the basketball court. Can you take me through the possession there with Halliburton having you ISO to the top of the floor?